Another busy day at Zimbabwe's Lauetta Farm, about 40 kilometers outside the capital Harare. It's peak season as they harvest their blueberry crop. It's the first time Coaster genetics have been grown in Zimbabwe for markets as far as Europe and the Far East. It means meticulous measures are required to ensure the crop arrives at market as close to fresh as they were when they were picked from the fields.
When you're starting off a new project, when you're pioneering in many senses a new project, and nobody had the plan of how you set up a blueberry cold room. In Zimbabwe it was a new project. Most people try to convert old horticultural cold rooms that they had on site and try and modify those to and adapt them to cater for blueberries. But we didn't have anything. We had a greenfield site and we needed a solution. So there were many options on the table, but I was heartened by the response I got from Inspira Farms.
Inspira Farms, whose aim is to transform the global food industry one agribusiness at a time, was formed to provide tools, technology and expertise to help significantly reduce food losses and energy costs and access higher value markets. Inspira Farms' approach is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, they seek to fully understand the client well. That is, the farm's products, the activity and the required infrastructure. Equipped with this information, then designs are custom-made specifically to meet the demand.
Each project is custom designed, so it starts with a lengthy process of initial site visits where we assess the available areas for installation. And Inspira Farms really try to drive home the importance of first mile cooling, and that involves getting the cooling infrastructure as close to the point of production as possible.
In the case of Lauetta Farm, key areas were considered. Key amongst the considerations was proximity. Blueberries are extremely temperature sensitive, and shelf life is easily lost if the crop spends long periods of time out of a temperature-controlled environment. Hence, the facility was built right next to the fields to reduce exposure time. In custom designing, Inspira Farms considered the products the facility will house, its handling capacity at any given time, and the number of people working in the facility at any given time. All these factors were taken into account to ensure that the facility operates at its optimum levels. With a futuristic mindset, the designs are engineered in such a way that it will be easy to extend should the need for expansion arise. A facility easy to assemble as they are made in a Lego for adults kind of design. Each component is purpose designed, shipped and assembled using a clear manual by a local team with remote help from Italy on standby.
This entire facility was shipped in just two 40-foot containers. In those containers included everything, right down to every nut and bolt, every rivet, all the cables, the steel structure and all the panels.
Cold chain is very important for berries, and it is said that each hour the blueberries spend outside of the pre-cooler is a day taken off the shelf life. Inspira Farms' design provides for berries to be temperature checked immediately after picking in the fields and at every stage until all the way to the airport.
What's critical for us here at Lowetta Investments is how quickly we get the berry down to core temperature in the actual pre-cooler, because the sooner we do that, the more the shelf life for that particular berry. So we concentrate very hard on making sure that from picking it to field grading it, we get it to the pack shed as quickly as possible. And I'll show you why. Let me just come over here to the grading table. And this is what we call a temperature probe. So we have one here out in the fields. We make sure that we monitor when we're picking the berry how low and how high that particular probe goes. I'll just put one more berry on the end here just to show you. So we put them all on. It's 7:30 in the morning, and already that berry temperature is at 23 degrees, the core temperature. We've been picking this season at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That gets up to 45 degrees, and we've got to make sure that we get that into the pre-cooler and down to 8 to 10 degrees as quickly as possible. So it's hugely important from our perspective that the pre-cooler, the pack shed, the cold chain that we have is up to scratch to make sure that within 45 minutes to an hour from the field here we can get this berry down to 8 to 10 degrees.
This is the Inspira Farms pre-cooler. As you can see, it's got the blower which is connected to the condenser outside. That is what's bringing the cold air into the room. So just that unit on its own will send cold air into the room and create a natural convection current with the airflow and the cycle of the air. So this forces the air to go right through all the boxes around every single berry, so we make sure that even fruit in the middle of a box is getting the same treatment. All of this is linked to this touchscreen system here. So in the room as well, we've got a humidifier. During the cooling cycle, a lot of moisture can be lost from product. It's the same as standing as yourself in a very, very windy open field and your lips get dehydrated. That's exactly what's happening to the fruit. So we reintroduce humidity and control the air and the speed of the air coming through, and that's all done through this touchscreen system here.
For us, what is becoming increasingly evident as well is that the better your cold chain, the better your facilities, we are able to improve on our gross to net ratio insofar as pack out is concerned. Let me explain that, is that when we pack out a punnet for the export market, is that we have to overpack by probably 5% at the moment in order to cater for dehydration and the berry not traveling so well, so it gets to market, gets to the customer at 125 grams, so we would pack out at 130 grams. But with better cold chain, with mist blowers that we have in the pre-cooling units, and we look after that berry, get it in here, get it down to core temperature, we've been able to get that down to 3%. So that is a 2% saving. And this year, it's our first year, we'll probably do 100 tons. Next year, we'll do 400 tons. You work on 400 tons and saving that 2%, that is 8 tons. And you just work out the savings on that insofar as the grower is concerned. So hugely important for us is to make sure that we invested in the best cold chain, the best pre-coolers, and all the stuff that comes with it. And we've been able to get it down to 3%, as I said, and hopefully we'll be able to get it down to 2% because we'll have looked after that berry from the field to the pre-cooler to the finishing room and make sure that the customer gets it. Something like this, right to shelf, nicely stickered, all the bloom on, and weighing in at 127 grams.
As there is no room for error, let alone power outages, the entire facility is wired to an IoT board, linked to a router that collects all the data and sends it to the cloud every 15 minutes, allowing for remote monitoring of the facility. To ensure clean power and smart usage, the Ducati board monitors the power supply. The board is intelligent enough to monitor a power surge, single phasing, or if identifying a faulty unit. The Ducati board also records the reading of power usage should you want to contest your utility bill or identify ways to save money. The facility is full of state-of-the-art high-tech features, including touchscreen controllers, automatic alarms for doors, yellow phone rollers, sensors for roller doors, intelligent humidifiers, and a weather station.
The future is bright. We want to expand. The world is loving blueberries at the moment. It's a superfood. It's got antioxidants. It's got so many good qualities. So I don't see that dissipating. And we've just got to make sure, as Zimbabwe, we are playing our part insofar as supplying the world market is concerned. But we can only do that with world quality premium blueberries if we invest in the infrastructure that's required, the world-class infrastructure that's required. And I'm glad to say that insofar as our cold chain is concerned with this unit behind me, we are very happy. We're wholly satisfied that we have a world-class system. And if we do expand, we will most definitely be going back to Inspira to take care of all our expansion requirements.